It's Super Bowl Sunday, so today we're going to do some ribs. Inside we're also going to do a buffalo chicken dip, but my job right now is the ribs. So what you see here is really the first step. I did a pre-step, which I do recommend trying out if you want the ribs to fall off the bone. And what I did last night is I cut the ribs. I've got 8 pounds, 3 racks of ribs cut in half. And what I did last night is put each rack into a Ziploc bag. I put 1 cup of just regular white distilled vinegar and 1 cup of water. This should tenderize them and break down the ligaments in there so that it falls off the bone better. Right now, I'm really at the first step you need to do, and that is to draw a dry rub on. I'm keeping it very simple because, as you can hear, it's raining outside right now, and I want to make my visits to the smoker as quick as possible, and just doing this as simple as I can. So for the dry rub, I'm just going with the basics today, and that's going to be a little bit of salt, some kosher sea salt there. This will help break it down a little bit more as it's cooking. I'm just using basic seasonal. In the past I've made my own rubs, but when I look at the ingredients on here, it looks like it has what I need, and I'm running a little short on time because I wasn't planning on doing ribs today. I picked them up at Sam's Club last night. They were $20. They had just put more racks of ribs out, so I figured might as well go ahead and do some ribs today. So all I'm doing is throwing on a rub. This will make the outside, give it the bark, that crispiness out there. And again, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Alright, let me talk to you about how I'm going to be cooking these. I'll be using the 3-2-1 method. That means 3 hours in the smoker, low heat, low and slow. And then after the 3 hours are done, I'm going to wrap them in aluminum foil or put them in pans. I think based on the size, I'll probably need to use regular aluminum foil. And then you keep it in there for 2 hours, and this is actually the steaming process. You'll throw some, I'm going to put some apple cider vinegar in there on top of it, and this will add that moisture back and actually help it fall off the bone more. Then after the 2 hours, cooking at the same temperature, you'll put them back in the smoker for 1 hour. And at that point, they should be done. So 6 hours, it's 11:15 a.m. right now. Super Bowl starts at 6:30. So I've given myself some extra time just in case. Especially, I'm not sure how much propane I have left, so I'm hoping it doesn't run out during this smoke. If it does, I've got that extra wiggle room so I can get out, grab some more propane if necessary, and make sure it's done in time. So I'm going to put these over in the smoker now. I will bring the iPad over for a minute once it's in and cooking. It's raining right now, so I don't want to get the iPad wet. Sorry guys. So I'll be back in a moment. We are 3 hours into the cook, and here's what they look like. Now you can see some of the smaller ones, thinner. You can see the bones starting to come out already, which is a great sign. That's what I'm looking for. So this is 3 hours cooking at 250 degrees. Make sure you do not go over 265, because then if there's anything with sugar in it, then it will start to caramelize and burn. Right now you can see these look very good. And now I'm going to switch over for using the 3-2-1 method to the 2. And the 2 is 2 hours of smoking them wrapped in aluminum foil, and I'm going to put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there. The important thing on this step is, since you're really sort of like using a crock pot type to get them juicy, you want them bone up. While I smoke these, it's always bone down, but because I want the meat to be in contact with the fluids, I'm going to go with the bone up so the meaty portion is in the fluids. So I'm going to wrap these in aluminum foil and be right back. I put some aluminum foil around them, and now I'm going to add, I've got 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. The reason I'm not using the regular white distilled vinegar is this is going to add some flavor as it's basting in. When I marinated them using regular vinegar, it really doesn't make a big difference in my opinion, and most of it's going to come out as it's absorbing in. So I think the flavor of this and the smell really adds a nice tangy taste. So let me pour it in. And now I'll wrap them up and put them back on the smoker at between 225 and 250 degrees for 2 hours. One step I did skip because of the rain, and it's still raining, is suggested that every hour or so you either spritz or put a mop on the ribs to keep them more moist. And you can use the vinegar. I've used apple juice in the past, but because of this rain, I really can't take them out, get them wet, sauce them up, put them back in. It's just, it wasn't worth it in this step. So let me put these back in for 2 hours, and then I'll take them out, see how they are. Hopefully at that point, the bone's coming out. And that's something I like. That's not competition ribs. Normally competition ribs, you don't want to fall off the bone. You want to slide off the bone more. But competition ribs, normally it's not going to slide off. So we'll see how these come out. So it's 2 hours later, actually an hour and 50 minutes. And the reason I pulled them off 10 minutes early is I see it's starting to rain again. Had a little break in the rain, so I went out, grabbed them out of the smoker, and it started to drizzle again. And I'm expecting it's going to downpour any minute. So pull them off 10 minutes early. But let's see how they're doing. And then I can try to get this juice to stay in the aluminum foil and put them on the rack. So I'm not sure what you can see, but this bone is like about to jump out. Oh yeah, these look great. After this, what we'll do is put them back in for an hour. Now I'm probably getting a little bit of mess. I didn't put any paper towel down, but the juice is still staying in there. Again, just don't want to get the wife mad that I have juices and all this other stuff. You can see it's dripping out. Oh, these are looking great. And they are hot. I'm going to zoom in a few minutes once I put these in, but I got to show you this right now. Look at that rack right there. So definitely recommend soaking the vinegar and using this 3-2-1 method. So that's how I like to see them. The bone's about to jump out of there. This final step, put the juice on there. Gonna do a little cleanup after this. Apple cider vinegar out of here. Final step is going to be a 1 hour smoke. I decided for whatever reason I'm going to use some cherry wood in there. You really don't have to. Again, it's all just really what you feel like doing at the time. Aluminum foil is hot. Hickory worked good. It adds that thicker barbecue flavor on there, but sometimes you want a little sweetness. I don't know if it's really going to make a difference or if it's just something I feel like doing. So sometimes I'll just try different things, and I haven't used a sweet wood for ribs before, and I'll see if it does anything. Again, the most important time to really put the smoke in is right in the beginning. That's when it's absorbing into the meat. Right now you can see got a little something going on there. There's not a lot of bark because I didn't put any sugar or anything on it, and I kept the temperature below 265. So in the first part of the smoke, which was 3 hours long, the first hour was actually a little low. I had the vent open more than it should have been, and then I realized that shut it, temperature increased exactly where it should have been. So for the second and third hour, it was right where it should be, which is about 250. You want to be 225 to 250, but never over 265. For the part 2, which was in the aluminum. First 45 minutes was a little bit low, and then I got right up to 250. And the reason for that, the rain stopped me from checking on the smoker temp, just because I didn't want to run in and out. So we're ready to go. I'm going to put these in. We got 1 hour left. I'm not putting any sauce on them. I'll do that afterwards. So the rain has stopped. I'm at now 22 minutes into the final stage, of the 3-2-1. So 1 hour, the final step of smoking the ribs at the end. I'm at 23 minutes into that. So it's a little windy out. Sorry for the noise quality. I'll see how it goes. I'm using the Rode mic with the, they call it a fuzzy kitten or dead kitten on it, dead cat, to hopefully block out some of the wind sounds that are coming through. But just want to take an opportunity right now as this is going through to show you the smoker I'm using. I did one of my actually first videos on it once I bought it. I really wanted to show it off to demonstrate how simple this process was. And for this one today, really what I did is once I put the ribs in at about 45 minutes, I checked the temperature. It was a little bit low because I put it on low and had the back of it closed down, and that let some of the heat escape quicker, but was letting the smoke out. But it's really a very good and inexpensive smoker. You can buy this. I saw it on sale for $100. I spent $120 on it, and on Amazon it's like $150. But it's a 2-door, so what it has on the bottom door, it will have the, I'll show you, has a pan for the chips. Right above that is a small pan that has the water in it. Again, I use an extra water pan in there just to keep it moist. That's really it. But by having the 2 doors, you can open up the bottom and add chips as necessary, add water as necessary, and still keep the temperature going up in the top part. During this entire smoke, at the halfway mark at 3 hours, I had to fill up the small water pan. At the 1 hour mark, I threw some extra chips in, and again at the 5 hour mark, I threw some extra chips in. Beyond that, it's very simple. And you see it's just propane, so I move my tank and take it from the regular grill where I'm smoking, which I'm actually doing more smoking than grilling nowadays based on this. There are some added things, there's some revisions, some upgrades you can make to this. I haven't done any of them because I haven't found it necessary. So very great grill, very great smoker, inexpensive, and really changes the quality of the meat you're getting. Nowadays, right now, it's February, getting ready to move. Going to be moving overseas, so I'm going to bring the smoker with me and get propane tanks over there and just keep continuing the joy of smoking meats. In about 34 minutes right now, if I'm looking at my watch, I'll pull these out, show you. Alright, thanks for joining me on the journey. 6 hours in, the ribs are done. You can look, see those bones sticking out. So those are going to be very tender, very juicy. It's going to be good. I'll do a comment below as to how the guests like them tonight. Super Bowl's is about to start very soon. So we have the dip about to go. Guests are over, and we will definitely enjoy these ribs. And hopefully have some leftovers. Maybe not. Maybe everybody will eat these all tonight. So please, down below, put any comments, any suggestions, what you're doing for the Super Bowl, who you're rooting for. I'll try to post this before it starts. And if not, afterwards, hopefully you enjoy the recipe that I included in here. And like, share, subscribe, enjoy the Super Bowl.